In today's video I'm going to show you the 5 most common deadlift mistakes and show you how to do them. And if this is your very first time here and want to learn how this whole big fitness puzzle works, then don't forget to subscribe to not miss any free training and nutritional tips and tricks that I'm sharing every week. So if I had to choose between only one exercise to do, it would be the deadlift. In my opinion, it's by far the best compound movement that strengthens up the several muscles that makes up for the posterior change, and also helps with explosiveness, size and strength. The deadlift could be the safest and the most dangerous exercises to do. The safest because the weight isn't above you like in a squat for example, and you could always drop the weight whenever you want. But it's also the most dangerous one because you can handle a lot more weight compared to any other free exercises out there, so if not done right you can easily injure yourself. So let's go through the 5 most common mistakes and show you how you can fix them. Mistake number 1. You are squatting your deadlifts. This is a really common mistake that I also have been doing for many years until I understood that the deadlift is a hip dominant movement and not a knee dominant movement like the squat for example. This mistake is done when you're lowering down your hips too low and keeping your back too straight up. And this will cause your body to not have the center of the gravity in line with the movement. And your ability to lift more weight is now reduced, plus this will probably put some stress to your lower back. A good rule to know where your hips should be is to try to have the bar straight under your scapula and not in front of your scapula. Mistake number 2. You're rounding your back, and this is the most common mistake that brings the most back injuries. You want to keep your spine in a straight and neutral position in line with your hips, back and head during the whole lift. If you can't keep your spine in a straight and neutral position during the whole lift, it could be because you're doing the opposite from the first mistake and having your hips too high instead, and now having the bar behind your scapula. But the most common reason why you're rounding your back is because you're having too much weight and your core can't handle it. It could also be because your hamstrings are too tight, so to fix this you could incorporate some stretch movement exercises like the Romanian deadlift in your routine. And before lifting you could do some dynamic stretches and foam rolling, and some static stretching after lifting. This will improve your hamstring mobility. If you already know that your hamstrings are too tight, you could raise up the bar a little bit. In the meantime, you're improving your mobility. This also goes for everyone who doesn't have big weights enough in their gym. But another common reason why you're rounding your back could be because your hips and glutes are too weak, and your body is naturally compensating with bringing the hips closer to the bar to have a better mechanical advantage. So working with more hip hinge movement like the hip thrust for example to strengthen that up will also help. Let's move on to mistake number 3. You're not having the bar close enough to your body. To be able to move as much weight as possible, you want the bar to go the shortest way up. And this will be done by having the bar to go straight up from start to finish. But if you're starting with the bar too far away from you, you can see here that the bar path will be longer and you'll probably put some stress to your lower back. To make sure that the bar is as close to your body as possible, you need to engage your lat muscles by depressing your scapula, which basically means that you're lowering down your shoulder blades before you're about to lift. Imagine you're breaking the bar in the middle with your hands. This will also help to feel the tension on the lat muscles. So to set this up properly, start off with having the bar placing over your midfoot. And as you lean forward, your shin is going to touch the bar, and when you're lifting, keep the bar as close to your shins and thighs as possible during the whole movement. And if you're having sensitive shins like me, then some long socks or protection will absolutely help. Another way to ensure that your bar path is going the shortest way up is to place your hands as close to your legs as possible. As you can see here, the smaller grip I have, the shorter way it will be. Mistake number 4. You're letting your hips shoot up too early, and this often happens because you're jerking the weight off the floor without stacking your joints before your lift. So before you're about to lift, make sure you're stacking your joints by engaging your core and breathing in deeply and flexing your ab muscles hard. Also engage the lat muscles by depressing your scapula as I went through, chest up, and keep your hips and glutes back so you're feeling the stretch on your hamstrings. And when you have all these things in place and feeling the tension from the weight, then that's when you're about to lift. And when you're about to lift, I want you to think of the movement pattern in two parts. The first part is to raise the bar above your knees by pushing the floor away with your feet. As soon as the bar goes above the knees, you're gonna explode forward with the hips. So first you're bringing the bar straight up above the knees and then forward with your hips. Let's move on to the last mistake. You're overextending your neck and your lower back. Like I mentioned before, is that you want to keep your whole spine neutral during the whole movement, and the spine goes all the way up to your head. So to not put that extra stress to your neck and to your lower back, simply start your lift with looking down or slightly forward. And try to keep your neck straight during the whole lift. And instead of thinking that you need to bend your back backwards when you're lifting up the bar, focus on the hump movement from your legs instead. And stop after your glutes are fully contracted. So guys, to summarize this, don't turn the deadlift into a squat movement with having your hips too low and not too high either. Avoid rounding your back and work on your hamstring mobility or glute strength, or drop the ego and lower down the weight. Engage your lat muscles so you're having the bar as close to your body as possible. Avoid shooting up the hips too early and stack your joints before you're about to lift. And avoid overextending your neck and your lower back and keep your spine neutral. So guys, I hope these tips could help you out, and if you have any questions or want me to cover another exercise or topic, then leave it on the comment section in the below. And if you like this video, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn the ring bell on. Thank you so much for watching, see you next time, peace.